bodies. And we do that by, yes, we have our great Juice Plus products, but a huge piece of what we do is this healthy living revolution where we gather communities of people that want to get more produce in, and we're doing that with our salad in a jar parties and, a bunch of other different things that we do. So we kind of kept it super light on talking about Juice Plus, but really inviting people into our community so that the pressure is off and they know who we are. Mm-hmm. And they like who we are and they like what we do and they feel safe enough to bring a friend to the next one. I mean, that's really the goal, is to build our community. And then of course, give people the opportunity to learn and know about Juice Plus if they wish to do that as well. So usually we use that opportunity to say, hey, if you're interested in more juice, information about Juice Plus, we're doing a happy hour this Friday night. Come and join us. And then they can learn specifically more about Juice Plus, or to a Zoom call or something like that. So it kind of is this place to kind of capture people's interest, invite them into our community and know who we are, feel safe with us, and then to kind of launch into an invitation into something else. Or some people like to order their Juice Plus right then and there. I've had that happen as well. But it seems to be just kind of a soft way to share. Does that make sense?
And I'd like to add, one of the things as far as our format is that I used a specific area in the kitchen and I had a big Juice Plus display. So when I was at conference in the spring, I bought a placemat, but it's like Plant Power. It looks like one of those little postcards, but it's a big placemat. And I had the gummies out, I had the trio capsules and the omegas, and I had samples of the purple gummies out. And I also had made some pumpkin protein spice balls that one of our sideline buddies posted one of the recipes online, and they were a huge hit. And I had a ton of people leaving asking me for the recipe, which was a great way to make sure that I had their contact information and to follow up with them with the recipe. And one of the line items in the recipe is vanilla complete. And if they were to Google that ingredient, they would find out what it is and what they can get. And so I found that as everybody saw it, everybody knew it was there. We had a lot of people there that knew what Juice Plus was. And it's more about creating that relationship between health and community and Juice Plus.
Yeah, and you might also in your little recipe sending to them say, and of course you can get the Juice Plus complete from me.
You're right. I'm going to go back and make that comment on Facebook. Yeah, I need to be more direct. And
you can also say, hey, if you'd like a sample, you can give them that sample so that they can make their one little batch, and then of course they're going to be hooked and want a whole bag. So,
and is it like a pouch is one scoop, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, one last thing before we get on with our amazing Mel Simon is I just wanted to remind you guys that are coming to conference, which I hope you all are, is to get signed up for our escape room adventure, our team building activity on Thursday night. It's going to be really fun. And just a reminder that you want to grab something to eat before the 5 to 7 series that will tide you through, because you're going to go right from there to be down to the escape room, or it's called Escape the Room, no later than 7:30. So you're going to have to Uber quickly over to that address, and then we're in there for an hour, and then afterwards we'll go grab appetizers and a drink or whatever if you want. So just casually if you want to. Okay, whoever wants to go. So with that, I wanted to just welcome Mel, and thank you, Mel, so much for sharing some of this amazing some of these amazing tips that you're going to share tonight. And I'm going to just turn it right over to you, because I know you guys are going to love the tips that she's got that are going to help you open up a lot of doors.
All right. Let me share my screen real quick, guys. Maybe. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
For whatever reason, you guys are all stuck in the middle of my screen, and I can't see my screen.
You can just shrink it up there in the...
I can't touch any of it. It's like glitching out. Anyway, I'm just going to go with it. Okay, I can at least turn... You guys can just be right there in the middle of everything. So first off, I just want to start with kind of how these 3 questions came up. I was actually working with my Tony Robbins coach, and I was talking about, you know what? I'm really great at sharing the product. And for some reason, I just get caught up on, really sharing our mission or sharing our business opportunity. And she was like, well, don't you have like kind of a no-brainer? She was like, duh, don't you have your 3 questions? And I was like, 3 questions? She's like, your company doesn't have 3 questions? And I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And so she kind of shared with me her 3 questions. So that's where this kind of all came up. And I feel like we are all kind of on this mission of obviously inspiring healthy living around the world. I love that I have an amazing story. And I think so many of us, I've heard your stories about the Juice Plus product. And I love that we get to be on this mission together and that we all have this, like, I think what kind of brings us together is that we love helping people get healthy. Okay. So I really started to figure out, like, if I really want to do and help a lot of people get healthy, I really have to grow my team. And it's actually a super smart way to do it. And so we came up with these questions, and look at us, we're, sharing health, doing salad in a jar parties. Love that. And we all know that we need to be eating good, a lot of good nutrition. Our friends know this, you guys. The media is doing all of this work for us. So they're seeing that they need to be eating fruits and vegetables. And most people know that they have a gap in their diet. And so what do people do? They supplement. So one of the first questions, question number 1 is, do you supplement your health? Do you use supplements? What are you doing? Whatever that sounds like to you, put this in your own words. When Reagan says it, she says, do you supplement your health? And that sounds really good when it, rolls off her tongue. Or for me, I'm like, do you get enough fruit and veg in your diet? It could sound anything like that. But so the second piece is, do you know anybody that supplements their health? Do you know anybody that takes supplements? Okay. And I don't know about you, but if you guys look and you Google, the supplement industry is a $32 billion industry. We know right there that people are supplementing their health. People are eating supplements. They are trying to get the edge. They know that they need to bridge that gap in their diet. And what I love about Juice Plus is that I get to share with my friends something that's super safe, that I know is going to work in their body, and that I know that fruits and vegetables are the foundation. And I get to help them and help lead them towards a better way than most people know how to get all that good nutrition into their body. Does that make sense? So the third question is, now that we know how much, pretty much everybody is supplementing their health. And I like to ask, how would you like to earn a percentage of the amount that people are spending supplementing their health on supplementation? So even if it was just a small percentage, can you imagine how great you would feel not only sharing great, good, solid, research-based nutrition with people, that you don't have to worry about your reputation being on the line or this hurting them or doing something harmful for them. We know that fruits and vegetables and our 28-year-old Juice Plus is really, really great nutrition for people. So can you imagine how great you would feel not only that you are inspiring healthy living around the world, but also being able to supplement your income as well, or have an additional stream of income, or pay a car payment or a mortgage, or have financial freedom. Whatever success looks like to you, I love that with Juice Plus and with these questions that we can kind of get into the conversations with people that I was kind of like struggling with before, as far as like really kind of getting people to talk about, what they're doing with their health, or, creating an income, that kind of thing. I used to kind of like kind of fidget around, like, do I want to bring it up? I'm like, well, gosh, somebody's going to be making this money on supplementation anyway. We might as well be benefiting from that. And we might as well help our friends to benefit from things that people are going to buy anyway. And we can give them something more, something superior to what they can buy in the grocery store, and make sure that it's safe. and that's going to do, great things in their body. So I don't know about you, but I'd love to have, I don't really have a huge presentation that I'm doing here, but I can't get off of this thing. But I'd love to kind of hear what you guys think about those questions and how you can, maybe we can kind of role play a little bit of like how you see yourself asking those questions, or maybe, I don't know. What do you think, Reagan?
Well, maybe
like how you see that.
Take your screen share off, maybe.
I know, I'm trying. I can't get it. Stop the share. Okay, there it goes.
Awesome. Okay.
Except for now I'm on Google. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so
is that what you wanted me to share?
I love those 3 questions. I think that it totally paints vision. And I think a lot of times we don't know where to kind of take our conversation when we're talking to people about the business. And it's true. Everybody is supplementing with something, and nobody's eating enough fruits and vegetables, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows they need to eat more. So being able to ask them, how would you like to share something we know works, but then also get a percentage of all the people that are supplementing just because you recommended something good. How's that make you guys feel?
I like those questions. What I find that's always a challenge for me is how to handle can Juice Plus replace my vitamin? And so when you start talking about supplements, I think that's a question that you directly go into, and I never really know what to say.
That's a great question. So are you getting that? Like, I don't ever get asked that question. Can it replace my vitamin? Are you getting that?
I do, because they think about what they're going to pay for this, and they're like, well, do I still need to take this, or do I take this in addition to? And I don't really know what to do with it.
So one of the things that I say, look, you know what? I asked the question, do you know how many nutrients that man knows how to even put into a vitamin pill? The answer is, they always guess, and they're never right. And the answer is 13. Okay. In fruits and vegetables, we've identified and named over 25,000 micronutrients that all work in synergy together. And they also, also has the enzymes that the body then can use that information to tell the body how to use the nutrition. So which do you think is better? So here's the thing. I always tell people, look, this is fruits and vegetables. This isn't a vitamin. We didn't, a vitamin pill, they might have gone in and taken the vitamin C out of the orange, but they didn't give you the whole orange. We're giving you the whole orange. That's another way to kind of tell people that. Now, if they're low, what we don't want to do is we don't want to go into something that we tell people that vitamins are bad, because vitamins are great for filling up the tanks really quickly if you're deficient. The problem is people are just haphazardly taking these, multivitamins, and they don't even really know why they're taking them. So if somebody's low on vitamin D, for example, taking a vitamin D supplement is a good idea, and it's a great way to fill up the tanks, but maybe they should go out and get some more sunshine as well. But most people that are taking multivitamins, they have no idea why, and actually they've been shown to cause more harm than good over even a placebo. So yes, the answer is it quite possibly may be able to. What is it that you're taking would be the question you want to ask.
And then, like, maybe why are you taking it as well?
Yeah, what are you taking and why? Well, I take Centrum. This is usually what they say. I take Centrum, and I'm like, well, you don't really need that. I take vitamin D. Oh, have you had your vitamin D tested? Are you low? Okay, good. Okay, that's good. Keep getting that tested. And I take this. Most people don't even know why they're taking it.
That's true.
So then sometimes too, you can also say, do you think that if you were eating a huge amount of fruit and veg every day, do you think you would be deficient and need to take those multivitamins?
Okay, that's fair.
Question instead of telling them.
Okay, because I'll use myself as an example where, I'll say I know that I've replaced my vitamins with this because I no longer need to supplement, but I do take vitamin D from time to time, like in the wintertime. I guess I use myself as an example, but I need to be asking more questions. And I think about, like, when you get the whole orange, I refer back to the slide with the apple that we used in one of our old presentations, or a presentation I haven't used in a while, where we think about how many nutrients there are in an apple. So, okay, that's helpful.
Yeah. So, I mean, using yourself as an example to say, you know what, yeah, I did, but what are you taking? Right?
Okay.
Perfect.
Hey, I wanted to ask Mel on the question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you how have people responded, or when do some of them? I'm certain some say, "Yeah, well, that sounds great, but I don't want to do it." Where do you go from there when you get some of those things?
And that's when you can say, well, this may or may not be for you, and that's totally okay. But I just want to make sure that people know that this is an option,
Perfect.
and an opportunity, right?
Like
and the last girl that I said that to, she actually became a representative, and she just kind of laughed when I asked, and she was like, of course, like all of my girlfriends are doing what I'm doing right now. They're going to all want to do this too. And so she kind of laughed, and then she was like, oh, but you're right. They're going to do this. And when I rather make the money than, sending them to Walmart or whoever else big guy is going to make the money,
Right.
So.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And I still like using the word resource. If you can be a resource for somebody else, aren't you going to tell them anyway? You might as well be the one that gets that percentage versus, Walgreens.
Yeah.
It might as well be you.
Yeah. And forever it took, Reagan says this all the time, the mission and the money have to get married. And it's just so funny because I'm like, I used to apologize for the fact that I, was going to make money by sharing it with people. But guess what? The amount of health that they're getting from, and the amount of wealth that I'm getting, I think is totally off the grid. But here's the thing is like, you're going to do with your money what you're going to do, maybe I'm going to go and do another mission trip because I've got some extra money in my pocket that I can do that. I may go do that, or, send my kids to private school so that they can have a bigger vision for themselves so they can go and, save the world. Right. So it's all for good. It's all for good.
That's right.
When we help people get healthy and we get to make some money too.
I have another question. So the first question's geared towards a person you're talking to, and the third question's really focused on, okay, I've sold them, or, do you want to be a part of the opportunity? But the second one, is that mainly like, who do you know that you could share this with? So I'm asking myself, am I choosing one of the 3 questions to say to the person, or is my goal to say all 3 questions to them when talking to them?
Mm-hmm. All three.
Okay.
And that second question kind of just starts to paint vision of the people that they know that take supplements, or like, well, yeah, my mom does, kind of everybody. It starts to get them thinking about who they know. And yeah, that's
before you lead them into saying you can share, and
definitely
join arms with us. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we want to remember, we want to make it easy for people to get on Juice Plus, but we also want to make it a no-brainer for them to share it with other people. That's how our mission is spread, is through other people. And everybody knows at least, 5 other people at a minimum that they are probably going to share it with anyway, quite honestly, because they're going to love it. Mm-hmm. So you might as well benefit from that.
Hey, Mel.
Yes.
The other day, I guess we were just having a conversation, and you had shared that thought about who do we know, or you asked me, who do I know, anyone who's on supplements, and my first answer was like, well, gosh, everybody. And so I was having a conversation, and that one question resonated so deeply with me, and for me, it made it a question that took the conversation away from me and what I do. And when I wanted to introduce, after listening and trying to ask questions, it was just such an easy inroad. And I felt it put the onus on the person that I was speaking to in a very relaxed way, because she was like, well, gosh, yeah, everybody I know takes supplements too. So I found it a really easy way to get into a conversation without having to say, well, have you heard of Juice Plus? All the things that I've used. So I really thank you. I don't know about the number 2 and the number 3. I'm going to have to try those. But I thought it was just a great segue.
Yeah. Well, I would encourage you guys to do all 3 because most people that join our mission, typically the ones that are going to share are going to be the ones that come on at the same time because they see a little bit of a vision. And if we're not painting that vision for them, who is? I have to tell you, over, the 14 and a half years that I've been here, I have run into so many people that said, I never even knew that I could share this with other people. That person didn't tell me about that. And they were mad, right? Or maybe I've had people in my downline that have, had a customer forever. All of a sudden that customer is leaving to go join their friend's team who just started Juice Plus as a business a month ago because they never told them that there was that opportunity. So I think if we're painting that vision, it might even lead to referrals at a worst case scenario that, yeah, I know some people, because you said that, right? Mm-hmm. And they might run into their friend at lunch the next day who's not feeling well. And gosh, you know what? Maybe they'll start to share.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Anything else? You guys gonna use those 3 questions?
Yeah.
Sure. What are they? What's the first question?
Do you supplement your health?
What's number 2?
You know anyone who does?
Yeah. And what's the third one?
How would you like
to earn a percentage of the amount people spend on supplements?
Yeah, on all those people. Okay, so you guys going to try it this week?
Sure.
Yeah, I am.
Do it.
So Mel, will you do me a favor and will you post up in our team group the 3 questions?
Sure.
Little graphic, and then every time you guys use that this week, will you put on there, used it, whether it worked or not, and let us just rally around you and celebrate you. Because remember, not everybody's going to be interested, but they will be if you give them a chance to be, right? If we don't ask, we have 100% no. If we ask, we're going to have some people that are like, yeah, of course. So tell us if you made it through the 3 questions and what happened.
Okay.
Will you guys do that?
Awesome.
I will.
Yeah.
And let's keep that post at the top this week.
Yep.
See what happens.
Sounds good. Before we go, can I give a quick shout out to Vicki McGonigal, who customer qualified her business, set a huge goal, and customer qualified.
Awesome.
Yay, Vicki!
Yay. 1 extra point.
Good job.
Go, Vicki.
Great job. Awesome. Yes.
Hey, Dinah.
Hi.
Hi.
This is my
Sorry.
friend, Florida Patty, who is doing a great job sharing Juice Plus. So I'm excited that she was able to.
Welcome, Dinah. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. I'm sorry about the dog.
Oh, I thought you were talking. It's
Dogs, kids, whatever.
She heard me clap. She heard me clap for Vicki, and
Now
she thought that meant playtime.
Well, she was celebrating too.
That's true.
Smart dog. Awesome. Okay, you guys, well, have a beautiful week, and we'll see you in Voxer in the Facebook group. And go be brave. Go inspire this mission. And thank you all for all you do. And Mel, amazing. Everybody, thank you, Mel.
Yes, thanks, Mel.
Mwah. From the bottom of my heart. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Happy to do
All
it.
right. Good night, guys.
Thanks,
Good
y'all.
night.